To the world, Kirk Douglas was the flint-jawed hero of 100 battles, on screen and off. A man of steel will, biblical intensity, and rare longevity, who crawled out of poverty, survived a world war, conquered Hollywood, beat a devastating stroke, and lived to 103 with his fire still burning. But age does something to even the strongest icons. It strips away the varnish and leaves only truth. Late in life, Douglas began speaking more plainly than he ever had before. And in one of his most surprising moments of candor, he revealed a list he had carried quietly for decades. The 7 actors he believed embodied real cruelty in Hollywood. Not villains from scripts, but people whose behavior in real life left marks he never forgot. He didn't name them to settle scores. At 103, Kirk Douglas had nothing left to prove. Instead, he spoke so future generations would understand the industry he survived. Hollywood wasn't just glamour and applause, it had shadows too. Shadows cast by some of its brightest stars. 1. Marlon Brando. Brilliance with a trail of damage. Douglas admired Brando's talent, but never forgave the selfishness that came with it. He remembered sets thrown into chaos because Brando's moods ruled the day. He could light up a room, Douglas said, and burn it down just as fast. The genius was real, but so was the cruelty. 2. Errol Flynn, charm with a razor's edge. Flynn's magnetism fooled almost everyone, but Douglas saw the cost of that charm. Flynn loved danger, scandal, and dragging others into the mess with him. Fearless and reckless, Douglas recalled, and dangerous to be around if you had anything to lose. Behind the swashbuckler's grin was someone who left storms in his wake. 3. Elizabeth Taylor. A master of beautiful destruction. Douglas respected Taylor's talent, but feared her precision. Elizabeth could cut you without raising her voice, he said. Her fame became a weapon, and Douglas watched her manipulate situations with almost surgical skill. Her beauty masked a brutality that could shake an entire set. 4. John Wayne, a legend, whose stubbornness turned cruel. Douglas admired Wayne's strength, but learned quickly that the Duke's convictions were immovable. He was a monument, he said, and monuments don't bend. Wayne's rigidity could turn harsh, dismissive, or punishing toward actors who didn't fit his worldview, especially younger ones trying to climb. 5. Richard Burton. A genius with a volcanic temper. Douglas loved Burton's voice, adored his intellect, and feared his fury. He remembered days when Burton's drinking turned him into a storm, lashing out, tearing others down, and filling sets with tension. His brilliance, Douglas said, came with a cost everyone else paid. 6. Vivien Leigh. Fragile, brilliant, and sometimes cruel, Douglas spoke softly when recalling Vivien Leigh. He knew her demons were real and her suffering profound. But he also witnessed moments when her insecurities turned sharp, when she lashed out at those closest to her. A tragic beauty, he said, but tragedy doesn't excuse hurt. 7. Bette Davis. Ruthless when she needed to be Davis, in Douglas's eyes, had a work ethic matched only by her willingness to eliminate obstacles, human or otherwise. He admired her fire, but feared her ambition. If she believed something was hers, he said, God help the person standing in the way. Her genius and her ruthlessness were inseparable. Kirk Douglas didn't reveal these names out of bitterness. At 103, he was far beyond pettiness. What he offered was a rare, unfiltered look at the human cost of greatness, a reminder that Hollywood's glow was made not only of talent and triumph, but also of the shadows cast by the people who shaped it.